All right, folks, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Robert Rodriguez again. I am your Miami trainer for today's course. This is the Working with Investors course. We have Christy Dennis. She is my colleague, another Miami trainer on board with us, and she's going to be providing you with answers to your questions. As always, you can find our recorded webinars inside of our YouTube channel. So please make sure that you guys know how to find us inside of YouTube. It's Miami Trainers. It's very simple. Just go to YouTube, search for Miami Trainers, or you can go directly to youtube.com/Miami Trainers and start browsing through our library of videos. We have over 400 videos already in place for you to watch. You can watch videos on this very same seminar that we're going to have today, or you can watch videos on Matrix or IMAP, RPR, or the different services that we provide. So today we're going to be looking for the perfect investment property for your customers, customers that are looking to buy property to renovate and then turn for a profit. And that's usually pretty difficult to find. Especially nowadays, it's even more difficult because there aren't many properties in inventory. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the MLS for single family homes is really low on inventory in both Dade and Broward County. And that holds true for single family homes that are in foreclosure. So what we're going to be doing is going over some of the available foreclosure opportunities that we can purchase and try and figure out which is the best return on your investment. So we're going to begin by searching for a single family home. So we're going to search for a single family home that is active, single, and we're going to search in both Broward and Dade County. So we're going to search in 2 counties at once. And then we're going to go down and we're going to look for REO under the additional fields. Those of you that are new in the MLS and you have not entered any additional fields, you will need to add the REO field, which is your bank-owned properties. This is how we identify foreclosure opportunities. So we're going to click on add, and then we're going to look for REO. We're going to select REO, and we're going to add the REO to your additional fields. Another field that you want to add is HOPA. HOPA is your 55 and over communities. You're going to add this as well to your additional fields. Because, and when we're finished, we're going to click on back. There is no save button. So you're going to click on back, and the reason we added REO is because we are looking for foreclosure opportunities. So the answer to the REO will be yes. And then the answer to HOPA will be no. We do not want to buy a foreclosure opportunity inside of a 55 and over community. So take a look at how many results we have in 2 counties, only 50. Back then, before the pandemic, we had over 150 opportunities. Sometimes we had 100 per county. So the opportunities to buy a foreclosure at today's market is a lot harder because there's less properties. So let's click on results and let's take a look. This could also be that the government has canceled the foreclosures, in the last 6 months. So banks aren't filing foreclosures for properties, but at some point you must assume that banks will start filing foreclosures on people who haven't paid their home loans, and the short sale opportunity will become huge once again. So just let's get prepared as realtors to work short sales, not only from the buying side but also from the selling side. If you're a listing agent and you want a listing, the market is basically going to call for short sales. I mean, I cannot imagine that we're not going to have lots of people that haven't paid their mortgages and are in foreclosure. So let's take let's wait for that. Okay, so here we have our results, and notice that the results actually are 49. So at some point, between the time that I clicked on results and now, we had one property go off the market. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of these properties and let's search for the perfect property. So let's look at the first property in my list, which is a property in Hallandale Beach, and it's listed for $137,000. All right, it has 2 pictures, so we're not going to be able to see many pictures on the property. And you're going to notice that it's a 1,268 square foot living area, built in 1957. Lot size is 6,677 square feet. So you have an average size lot, and then read the remarks. It's very simple. It says this home is condemned and uninhabitable. The seller is selling as is, property boarded with no interior access. This property is an online auction and it will be sold through hubzoo.com. Okay, I do have hubzoo.com open as one of my windows, and we'll get into that a little later. So in order to place an offer on this property, you will need to go to hubzoo.com, register, and then place an offer on the property. The property has been on the market for only 11 days. So what we want to do is we want to see how much commission is being paid to us. You'll notice that it says 3% commission being paid to the realtor. Even though the property is being sold on the auction, basically, the listing office or listing agents do not want to handle the marketing of the property, and therefore they're going to place it in an auction. What we normally do is that we look for attachments in a property like this to see if we can find out any other information, and particularly what I'm looking for is going to be some type of inspection report. Some of you may have some of you may know the certificate of use, all right, which is a COU or a CU report. And banks are not required to provide us with an inspection report or a CU report, but sometimes they're nice enough to provide us with a CU report. In this case, I don't really see one. I see an auction listing requirement. I see important property information, and I see showing instructions. Maybe inside of this important property information, okay, we do have a CU report, but we don't. I don't see a CU report. So we're gonna have to go back, and if you wanted an inspection on the property, you may have to perform your own inspection on the property because there is no inspection available for this property. So that's why I clicked on the attachments, basically, so we can check if there is a CU report, and that CU report normally tells you the estimated cost to repair a property like this. The next step is to find out the value of the property if it were in good condition. So let's click on IMAP. IMAP is the quickest way for us to run a valuation on any property in the MLS, or it doesn't have to be on the MLS. It could be a property that's off the market. We trust IMAP just as much as we trust RPR. It's just that IMAP is a little quicker in getting the information done. So here we are looking at a property, and it's owned by Deutsche Bank. And you're going to notice the property right here in the center of the map. You're going to also notice that the foreclosure was performed in March of this year. Trustee deed, certificate of title, March 10th, 2020. That tells you that the foreclosure was done or processed, and it was processed this year. The previous owner of the property was Scott Hutchison, and the new owner of the property is the bank, Deutsche Bank, National Trust, and the foreclosure was for $123,200. They are selling the property for $137,000. Okay, and then down here is 1,268 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. What we're going to do is that we're going to click on find comparables, and we're going to find the comps for a property like this in Hallandale Beach. All right, so here we have comps in Hallandale Beach based on a 20% difference in lot size, a 20% difference in living area size. You can go as little as 5% difference or as much as 50% difference, or you can ignore the lot size altogether. Normally, we like to stick to 20, 20. 20 for difference in lot size and a 20% difference in living area size. We are also looking for comparables within a half a mile. You can do as little as same subdivision, or you can do as much as a 5-mile radius. We are going to stick to half a mile, and then we're also going to stick to 6 months back, going 6 months back, and then we're going to click on set as default and take a look at the estimated range based on price per square footage, which is going to be right here. And you're going to notice that the property has a low of $156,000 and a high of $312,000 with an average of $234,800. Concentrate on the high because this is as much as the property could be worth if it were in excellent conditions, which the idea behind a flipper or someone that's trying to look for a flipping opportunity is to renovate that property, rehab that property where we can sell it at the very high end of the market. So right around $312,000. Take a look. You have properties that sold at 219, 155, 253, 205, and then you have a property that sold at $305,000. And then you have a property down here that sold at 288, and then another property that sold at $300,000. So based on your comparables, you can go as high as $312,000 for your property. The highest price per square foot is actually $246.71. The lowest price per square foot is $123.70. So $246.71, which one of my comparables actually equals to 246? And it would be the last one. The last one is a 1,216 square foot home that sold for $246.71 a square foot, which equals to $300,000. Okay, so that is your highest comparable, and then your next highest comparable is going to be the one that sold for $221 a square foot. If you wanted to remove all the bad apples, basically all the properties that sold, let's say below $200 a square foot, then you're going to have a higher average, a much higher average. Keep in mind, you're buying the property for $137. So let's go ahead and remove this one because it sold at $180 a square foot. I want to go ahead and show you. We're going to remove this one because it sold at $193 a square foot. We'll remove $193 a square foot right here. We're going to remove $150 a square foot. And we're going to remove $155 a square foot. So now I have $210 a square foot, $221 a square foot, and $246 a square foot. Take a look at my average now. $286 with a low of $266 and still a high of $312. So if we renovate our property and we sell it towards the highest end of the market value, okay, you are looking to turn a profit. Now the idea is buy the property at the asking price of $137,000 or maybe even less, spend enough money to renovate the home but not go over what the value of the home is. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this data that we just found into RPR. You can access RPR on the right-hand side by looking for the RPR logo inside of IMAP, or you can go back into Matrix and then also look for RPR, which is right here. The reason we're going to use RPR is because we're going to use their calculator for investment properties. And that calculator is always going to be located right here where it says Evaluate Property Analysis for Investors. Keep in mind, I am recording this video, and I am going to place this video inside of our YouTube channel at some point, either this afternoon or tomorrow, so you can review what we're doing. Let's click on continue, and let's analyze this property for our investor. This property, we're considering to flip the property, not a long-term hold. Long-term hold would be if you're trying to buy the property and rent it out. We're going to do flip. And the property is currently for sale at $137,500. I know the property is up for auction. We saw that, we read that. Okay. But the idea is that I'm trying to teach you our tools to analyze these properties, and I'm not really trying to teach you how to place a bid inside of the auction website. So let's pretend that we won the auction at $150,000 because there was competition for this property, and you ended up having to pay $150,000 for the property. Okay. The next thing is you need to estimate what the full year holding cost would be for a property like this. So we're going to open up again IMAP. Okay. We're going to open up IMAP once again, and we're going to see how much in taxes is this property. So last year's taxes, or the year before, was $1,581, and it's not homestead. So let's just estimate, because that's all we can do right now, that our taxes are going to be $2,000 a year. Okay. Plus electricity. So let's look at utilities. All right. And we're going to look at this property, and we assume that we're going to be paying about $200 combined for electricity and running water. All right. So $200 a month, that's $2,400. So we're up to $4,400 in expenses. And then don't forget about property insurance. Let's say property insurance is another, say, $1,500 or $1,600. So let's bring our total up to $6,000. All right. That's our full year holding costs, folks. That's just me putting in some estimates for the insurance and the taxes and the utilities. That's all really what we can do. We can't know the exact number and how much we're going to spend for utilities. We can only see last year's taxes, and we really don't know what the insurance is going to be. Okay. So here we have full year holding cost of $6,000. And then we're going to buy this October 1st of this year. And we plan on holding the property for 6 months. So holding period, 6 months. And if we are going to take out a hard money loan, all right, we're going to put in here how much how much are we going to borrow? So some lenders loan up to 75% or even 80%. I'm going to say 70%. We're going to take out a 70% loan, and we're going to take it out on a 9% interest rate. 9% because it's a 1-year loan. It's a hard money loan. You're not doing a conventional loan for flipping. You're going to lose money on that. So look for a hard money lender that's going to loan you the money. They're going to loan you 70% of the value of the property plus the construction cost or the renovation cost. They're also going to loan you that at 9%. Okay. Now go ahead and hit submit. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move into purchase and sale. So up here, take a look. You have levered analysis, you have cash flow, and you have purchase and sale. So let's move into purchase and sale. And then we need to determine how much in renovation are we going to spend in this property. So once again, we have to imagine that this house is really, really, really beat up on the inside, okay? And the reason being is that it's boarded up, no interior access, and the house is condemned and uninhabitable. So at this point, I'm going to say that we're going to spend about $80,000 in renovating this property. That may be going over the top. We shall see. Okay, we shall see. So $80,000 in renovating the property. Okay, so the next thing is let's estimate what the closing cost would be on this property. So if we're buying this property at $150,000, I normally like to estimate the closing cost at 2% of the purchase price if we're buying cash. If we were running a conventional loan on the property, it would be somewhere around 5% of your purchase price. So at 2% of $150,000, then it's going to be $3,000 would be my closing costs. Once again, that is an estimate. All right, that could be more or it could be less. That's just an estimate. Then off to the right, you're going to then put in how much do you expect to sell the property for after you renovate the property. So the gross valuation sale price, well, being that IMAP says $312,000 and we are going to rehab this property and leave it in the most pristine condition, I'm going to ask for $315,000. Okay, we're going to ask for $315,000, and then you need to calculate what the sale commission is going to be. So normally when we list a property on the MLS, it's 6% commission. So we're going to click on here and we're going to add a 6% commission. If you are the investor slash realtor and you are going to be doing this on your own, then you don't charge yourself 6% commission to sell the property. You normally will charge yourself, 3%. Okay, because you're not charging yourself, you're just putting it on the MLS and it's going to cost you 3% to put it on the MLS. Okay, so at this point, we're pretending to work with a customer and we are going to be charging 6% commission on this. And take a look, folks. You have a profit margin of 19% over a 6-month period. Okay, you have a profit margin of 19% over a 6-month period. That's $60,100 in your pocket. If you had to take out a loan because you didn't have the full cash to buy this property, then you're looking at a 16.75% return on your investment, and that's $52,771 in your pocket. Okay, however you work this out, these are positive numbers. These are good numbers. Normally, people ask me, "Hey, Robert, what would you say is the I guess benchmark or the desired return on an investment property?" It really all depends. If you are a starter in the flipping or investing, if you can get a property like this where it's going to return, from 15 to 20%, then I would say go for it. Okay, because it's very limited right now in how many properties you can go out there and buy. Okay, and you are going to have competition from people wanting to do this. So at a 19% return, that's great. Anything over 20% is great. Obviously, if you get closer to 30%, now you're really doing great. So at this point, buying the property for more than the asking price, spending $80,000 to renovate the property, including the remember the holding costs of the taxes, insurance, and utilities, plus the closing costs. Selling the property at $315 minus 6% commission, you're looking at taking in a profit of almost 20% or almost 17% if you had to take out a loan. Okay, so this is a great property to invest in if this is something that you or your clients want to get are interested in this property or the neighborhood. Okay, let's go here and let's show you how to print this. So on the very top, you're going to find File, okay? And then you have Export, and then you're going to export into a PDF file, or you're going to export into a spreadsheet. So that is how you print it. You go to File, Export PDF, and this entire calculation will go into a PDF file, or you can put it into a spreadsheet. If you wanted to begin again, let's say that you made some mistakes and you wanted to start all over, you would go to File, and then you go to New, and then you will go to File, and then you'll start again. New, File, or File, New File, and that's going to begin the entire transaction again. You can always go to sources of funds and start playing around with the numbers. So the interest rate, you can play around with the loan to value percentage. You can play around with, your term, okay? So, this is available for you to work with any investment property, whether you're looking to flip the property or hold it for a rental income investment, okay? Let me go ahead and close that out. And let's go back to Matrix. And then what I like to do, since we really don't have 2.5 hours or so, I'm going to go by some of these properties and show you. Here's a property in Lauderdale Lakes for $180,000. And then we click on IMAP. And then we're going to click on Find Comparables. And based on the criteria that I already have saved, we're looking at a high of 274, and they want for the property 180. So you need to determine, is that a good enough margin for you to invest in a property? If the highest that the property can go for is about $280,000 and it's for sale at $180,000. It all depends. What does the property look like on the inside? All right, unfortunately, no interior pictures either. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. Here's a property in North Lauderdale. Here's a property in Miami, all right, at $218,000. All right, I really don't want to invest in this property, so I'm going to go ahead and click on next. Okay, here's a property in Homestead for $219, and here's one in Tamarack, another one in Tamarack, another one in Tamarack. All right, and here's one in Fort Lauderdale. Can you tell that I'm actually looking for one particular property? All right, I am. I'm looking for one particular property that I think I just found. And here is a very nice looking home. All right. And when I say very nice looking home, it doesn't mean that I think it's ready to sell. I just think that not much wrong with the property. You're gonna have to do some cosmetic work. Okay. So here's a property for 273. It's in the 140th Northwest 17th Avenue in Miami. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It's nice. It's got a nice size of 1,922 square foot, and it has a very nice lot of 12,675. Okay. It is waterfront. So let's go ahead and click on IMAP. Okay, so here's the property, and then we're going to click on Find Comparables. Do we have any comparables in the area? We have 2 comparables. Neither of them is waterfront, and the property could be worth up to $350,000. They're selling the property for $273. Okay, so as you can see, these foreclosures are being sold for much, much less than the actual value of the property. Here's a nice looking home in Southwest Miami-Dade County. Okay, here's a nice home here in Miami-Dade County. You're gonna go ahead and see that the property is at $286,000 is the asking price. It's almost 2,000 square foot in size. It's 7,750, and it's for sale at 26, and it has a swimming pool. All right, there's your swimming pool. It's covered. So let's go ahead and see if I open up IMAP and I get a very good valuation on this property, then this may be even a better opportunity. And preliminary results are in, and you're looking at 346 to 441 with an average of 389. They're selling the property for 286. So it could be worth over $400,000, and if they're selling their property at 286, this is also a very good opportunity to flip and make a profit on a property like this. So reading on this property is 19 days on the market, and once again, it is an auction property. Look, it says please go to hubzoo.com to place an offer. So I do have Hubzoo open, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this address. Okay, come on, let's copy the address there. Okay, let's copy the address, and then here's Hubzoo. I have hubzoo.com, hubzu.com, and I'm going to paste, not that, that's the wrong, I knew I wasn't gonna copy. All right, let's, the address of the property is 11011 Southwest 160th. So 11011 Southwest 160th. And here it is. And let's click on it. Okay, so it says that the auction has ended. So taking a look at this property on the auction or Hubzoo, says that the auction has ended. However, they have not removed it yet from the MLS. Okay, so we're gonna have to contact the listing agent and see if the property was sold or simply that the auction ended and there were no buyers. Okay, so let me go to Hubzoo real quick and let me show you, in case you've never seen it before, let me show you what it looks like by simply looking for a house in Miami that there is an active auction going on. Yeah, these properties are not, you know. Here's an active auction going on right there. You have to remember that we're still in a very slow part of the auction process or foreclosure process because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So when all of this opens up, then you're going to see lots and lots of properties being auctioned off. So here's a property being auctioned off in about a day. So in 1 day, 1 hour. And the current bid is currently $321,000. You can click on view all bids, and then you're going to see that only one person has bidded. Normally, you'll see multiple people bidding on the property, and this property has a bid right now, $321,000, and Hubzoo says your next bid will be another $1,500. So if you were to place a bid, you'd be placing a bid of $322,500. In an auction like this, you normally will pay a 5% premium. So it says right here, property fees, buyer premium greater of 5% of bid amount or $1,000. So what that means is that you're not just paying $322, but you're paying 5% more because that is the fees to cover the auction. Okay, and they want in earnest money deposit, they want 3% of your bid. So if you're bidding $300,000, you need to have $15,000. Let me see here. No, not 15,000, $12,000, I believe, or $9,000. Yeah, $9,000. Sorry, 3% of 300,000 is $9,000. So you would have to have about $9,000 in deposit in order to participate. Okay. Like I said, this is not an auction class. This is more of using our tools to identify the perfect investment property. but that's hubzoo.com. There's also auction.com, and auction.com is this website right here. And this is another place where you can go and look for auction properties. And then there is xome.com. We call it zome.com. That's another website where you can go and look for auction properties. There is a website for Miami-Dade County auctions, and that is miamidade.realforeclose.com. miamidade.realforeclose.com is the clerk of court official foreclosure and tax deed sales. If you were to click on auction calendar, you'll notice that there are barely any properties up for auction right now. So when the market and life gets back to normal, you will see a lot more properties in auction. So for example, for the 23rd of September, you only have 13 properties up for auction, and you have the folio number, and you get to go study the property and see if it's worth purchasing the property through the foreclosure auction website in Miami-Dade County. I will tell you that the foreclosure auction site in Miami-Dade County are for properties that are being foreclosed on. These are not REOs. These are properties that are being foreclosed on by a bank. So you're going to be buying the property from the bank who is foreclosing the property. Okay. You want to read here where it says start here, and you want to find out more information on this foreclosure. If you don't know, basically they tell you how to register, and they tell you how much is the deposit. So your deposit is 5% of your estimated highest bid. You pay for the deposit in person or in a money transfer or wire transfer, and it needs to be paid by 3 p.m. the day before the auction. You will pay for your bid, again, in person in downtown Miami, in a cashier's check, and it needs to be paid 24 hours prior to 24 hours after the bidding has ended. Okay. If you do not win the auction, the escrow money that is in your account will be returned to you, or you can leave it in the escrow account so you can bid on other properties. So just go here, read about this, register, and participate in the miamidade.realforeclose.com. Also on the lower left corner, you guys will notice where it says jump to. Okay, you're able to jump into the Broward County foreclosures. Okay, so you jump to the Broward County foreclosures, and it's the same thing. It's Brenda D. Foreman, Broward Clerk of Court, and it's the official foreclosure site. All right, so you're looking at broward.realforeclose.com and dade.realforeclose.com. You're looking at zome.com. These are REO auctions. You also have auction.com, and then you also have hubzoo.com. All right, those are some of the foreclosure sites that are available to you. Okay, let's go back to Intermatrix. And as you saw, I was going through these list of 49 REOs that actually have potential for us to profit from these properties. And once you run your valuations through IMAP on a property like this, then you want to go to RPR and run your investment analysis on that calculator. Let me go back to Matrix, and let me go back to search, and let's run a quick search. This time, I want to make sure that you guys know how to search for REOs. Not REOs, we did that already, for short sales. I want to make sure that you guys know how to search for short sales. So we're going to, again, go Broward and Dade County. We're going to go single family home single. This time, we're not going to do REOs. This time, we want to do short sale. And we're going to say short sale yes and no HOPA. There are 52 short sales available right now in the MLS. Think about that. 52. I remember when there were over 300 short sales in Miami-Dade and Broward County. So only 52 right now. And once again, you're buying properties now from the owner of the property. And the owner of the property is selling the property for a lot less than what they owe the bank. That's what a short sale is. So here's a property in Hialeah for $145,000. This is really Miami. It's not really Hialeah, but it's $145,000. It's a short sale. It's unapproved. Sometimes, if you have the patience, if you've got an investor looking to buy a property where they're going to, eventually rent it out or something, if you have the patience to wait around, here's a property for sale, and it's for sale at 145, but on IMAP it could be worth up to $220,000. Okay, you go to the next one. Here's a property for 150 in Hollywood. All right, this is a short sale. Okay, as you can see the conditions of the home, and then basically you're going to run another analysis on IMAP. This is a very quick analysis on IMAP. Obviously, you want to spend some time really studying the area, and you're going to see that the property is worth up to $250,000, and they're selling it for $150,000. Now, let me show you one thing that you definitely want to use in Matrix to find these special properties. One search was REO, and then the other search was short sale, right? How about we do this? A new search in both Broward and Dade County, and then we're going to look for single family homes, and underneath the remarks fields, so you want to add an additional field called remarks. You want to put in asterisks a few keywords that agents use to identify renovation homes. So the number one that comes to mind is going to be TLC, tender loving care, right? So you want to put in asterisk, TLC, asterisk, and then let's take a look. You have 38 properties. We already searched for the REOs and short sales, right? So let's go no REO and no short sale. So we're looking at 33 properties that have the word or the term TLC in the remarks. Take a look. Here's a property, all right, in need of some love, right? And take a look. It says great investment opportunity and handyman special. So right there, they're telling you 3 words that you can use in that remarks field to find investment properties. The word investment, the words handyman, and the term TLC. All right. So going in and searching for a property like this, look, it's 169,000 in Deerfield Beach. Let's see what the value of a property like this in this size in this neighborhood is worth. All right, up to 221 with an average of 219, and they're selling it for 169. All right. Granted, you only found 2 comparables, but right now 2 comparables is going to have to do unless you want to continue looking, in 1 year. But still, you're still looking at a property that's not a short sale, not an REO, okay, but still being sold for way less than its market value, okay? And here's another one that needs TLC, and yet another one. There's 33 of them. If I go back to criteria and instead of TLC, I type in investor or investment, okay, investment. Now you have 200 matches, okay? And believe me, those are all investment properties. And then what's the other one? Handyman. Handyman. Okay, you got 11 handyman specials. All right, here's the handyman special. Check that out. And that's not even an REO or a short sale. All right, it's $219,000. Calling all investors and flippers. Well, flippers is another one. Handyman special with great potential. Okay, you're going to go ahead and click on IMAP, and let's see what the true value of a property this size in this neighborhood is worth. All right, not a real good investment. Not a real good investment. I'm not sure what they're talking about because you have $181,000. And let's go ahead and open that up to 1 year and see if we have any more comparables. And now, it goes back to 217 for an average and a 274 for a high. So 274 for a high for a $219,000 listing. Okay, so handyman special, investor, TLC, those are all terms you can use in an additional field that you will need to add cauldron marks. Okay. And I think that the last thing that I would like to show you in today's class is how to determine the inventory and the speed of sales in any market. And that's going to be by going into market reports and going and clicking on the market conditions report. All right. And then we're going to look for single family homes that are active and closed within the last year. So instead of 180 days, you go 365 days. And then you can do it by any map location. You can do it by county. You can do it by zip code, which is what I'm going to do. Let's put in zip code here, 33020. All right. And then we can do it by city if we wanted to. So in 33020 for single family homes, you're looking at 93 sales within the last 3 months. There are 77 properties active. Okay. You're looking at 31 sales per month with 77 properties active. You have less than 3 months of inventory left in zip code 33020. You have a seller's market all the way down the line going back 1 year. You have 2.7 months of inventory, 2.9 months of inventory, 2.4 months of inventory. So you have a seller's market. Anything under 6 months of inventory is a seller's market. Okay? Anything under 6 months is a seller's market. Anything under 3 months is an extreme seller's market. Anything over 9 months, then you're looking at a buyer's market. Okay? The average price here is going up. Look, 300,000, 318,000, 326,000. That's the sign of a seller's market. Price is going up. Properties here are selling at 96% of the asking price in about 48 days. So a little bit more than a month and a half to sell the property. Okay, you can do this report with any neighborhood, any zip code throughout the entire MLS. I'm going to switch it. Watch. Let's go and let's do the condo market in zip code 33160, Sunny Isles. Condo market, zip code 33160, and then click on generate report. And how's the condo market behaving in 33160? Forever and a day, it's been a buyer's market. Let's just see. It still is a buyer's market. You're looking at 271 sales in the last 3 months, and there's 2,514 properties in inventory right now, active. That's 27 months of inventory. So it's more than 2 years of inventory. Prices go down during a buyer's market. Look, 331, 330. Okay, list prices. These are the list prices now, listing only. The list prices are going down. That's a reflection of a buyer's market. Okay, so whenever you're trying to determine whether it's a very good area to buy a property and flip, this report that we're running here is very important for you to run. And it's called the Market Conditions Report under the Market Reports, Market Conditions right here. Okay. All right, so during my presentation, I did see that the chat was lighting up, and I know that Christy has been in there. Christy has been in there showing or answering your questions. Thank you, Christy. I did get the last chat right there saying, how did I get to the statistic report? Okay. Yes, so the statistic report is very important for any stat that you want to run in any market. Go to market reports and then go to market conditions. It is very important. This is an inventory report, folks. Pretend that you work at Macy's and you're refilling the shelves because everything has sold, and you're trying to determine how much inventory you need to last a whole month. So it's the same thing. Active, closed, you want to go back 1 year. I mean, you can do 6 months if you'd like, but I like to see a whole year's trend. So go back 1 year, single family in the city of Coral Gables. How are the homes selling in the city of Coral Gables? You click on generate report and let's take a look. You have 186 sales during the last 3 months. That's 62 sales per month. And you have 310 active listings for single family homes. That's 5 months of inventory. If not one more listing comes on, it'll take us 5 months to sell the 310 listings based on these numbers. Okay, property prices are going up. 920, 840, 1,037,000. Days on market, 80 days on the market, basically. And list prices are holding steady right around $1,660,000. Okay, so that's for Coral Gables. So as I was mentioning before, this is a class that usually lasts about 2.5 hours, and then we take a break, and then we do another 2.5 hours. It is not scheduled for today. The next class, which is Real Dax, which is where we go over rental properties or rental investment properties, we have it recorded inside of our YouTube channel. So you can always look inside of our YouTube channel and go to playlist and look for Real Dax. I promise you, you're going to enjoy that video. And then at some point in the near future, we plan on doing Real Dax again in a live session like we're doing today. Okay. This is going to conclude our presentation for today. Christy, thank you very much for assisting us in our training. And I'm looking at our chat right now, and yes, we will place this video in YouTube tomorrow. I have to make a few edits to the video, and then I will be placing it inside of YouTube. Okay. All right, guys, everyone, thank you so much for attending today's course. Thank you again, Christy, for helping us out. And any questions you guys may have, please feel free to email the trainers at miamire.com. All right, folks, wishing everyone a happy and great afternoon, and stay safe, and we'll see you in the next class. Thank you. Have a great day.